I'm here at the shed at our construction house. It needs to get sorted through. Here's what she looks like. It's a big jumbled mess. There's a lot of junk in here. We are pretty sure that somebody was in here rummaging through things. We're not at this house more than just a couple times a week. So whatever, it doesn't have a door. I'm not sure what is in here. I don't know what they would have taken, but we do know this was laying out on the ground. It's a computer tower, and we're pretty certain that somebody was rifling through here. So this was on the list to get done. This happened a couple weeks ago. I have about an hour. I'm going to set my timer for an hour and just try to get through things and see what I can get done. Got a trash can here. Anything that's salvageable, we're either going to keep or donate, and everything else is just trash. So I'm going to get done what we can. It makes me very uncomfortable knowing that somebody was in here digging around. I don't like that. Not that anybody would, but I'm just going to start going through it and see what I can get done. All right, there's my timer. I'm going to get going. Kids are already texting me, so this will go great. This shed was disgusting. My husband built this. I don't even remember, 2018 maybe. I'd have to look. I don't know where the pictures would even be, but he built this a lot of years ago when we were living at this house, and he never finished it because life and stuff, and we had another baby and we got a lot of crap going on. So he never got the doors on, and there's a couple like finishing things like the what do you call it? The soffits or whatever, or the fascia. I don't know which is which, but those didn't get put on. So this is just open to the elements. We were using it for storage because there was no storage in this house. And after a while, it just became a dumping ground, and everything that we didn't have a spot for, we threw into the shed. And then when my little daughter and my older daughter and my son, I guess, when all three of the older kids were growing out of like clothes and toys, I was throwing them into this shed because I couldn't part with it. And I think that in my head, I knew I wanted another baby, and I really wanted a boy because I had two girls and one boy. So you got to make it even, you know? But I can't decide that. So I saved all the girls' stuff too, just in case. And then when I did end up pregnant with my little son, I was, thrilled because it would all be even and whatever. But it didn't matter because I couldn't get to the stuff that I saved, which was mostly girl stuff anyways. And he got pretty much like new things, and it was totally pointless to save this junk. So I don't know. I don't know what my thoughts were. They seemed rational at the time. They always do, but it didn't work out how I wanted it to. And even if I had properly stored everything and it was accessible, it still didn't matter because he was a boy and he didn't need the girl stuff. But I have a really hard time like letting go of the kids' clothes and my own clothes. I don't know what it is about clothes. They're really difficult for me to part with. And so I pretty much saved everything. Maybe it's just the attachment of the time when the kids were little, or the memory of what, I wore this to this event, and so then I remember the event. I don't know. I gotta snap pictures of them and keep a journal or something because I suck at remembering things, and because of that, I hoard things. And clothes are definitely one of those things that I have an attachment to for some reason. When I was going through this shed, I did find a ton of baby clothes, and I had stored them properly, like in a tote, and most of them were undamaged. There were a few things that I had to throw away, and some things that were stained before I had put them in the shed, which I don't know why I kept them, but I did. So those things I got rid of, but most of it was salvageable and in good condition, and I was able to donate a huge chunk of stuff out of the shed. I was so happy about that. But it was difficult prior to this to get rid of that stuff. And I think because now, I have my kids, we're not having any more kids. I don't have that attachment like, oh, well, what if we have another one and, that baby could wear this or that baby could use this. Like we're done having kids. It seems like there's more of like a separation between myself and my thoughts and those items. And that really helps because if we were planning on having another kid, I probably would continue to hoard that stuff because for some reason, I think that I'm not going to want all the cute stuff that's out or, fun new stuff that I find or whatever. That's always what happens, or like everybody else gets them things. Like there is no shortage of baby items when you have a baby. And actually, on that point, too, man, I just babble on all the time. When I found out I was pregnant with my little daughter, within, I think it was a month or a month and a half or something, because I found out I was pregnant in the summer. And before the summer was over, I had everything she needed, like, a crib and a jumper and a stroller. It was like all of the big stuff that I always thought in my head, like, oh, I need to save this because this stuff is hard to get and it's expensive and I don't want to replace it all. That was the easiest stuff to get. And I don't know why I feel like I had to keep that from baby to baby, other than like, oh, my one kid jumped in this for a month. So now I have this attachment to it and I need to keep it forever. That sounds so crazy when I say it like that, but that's literally what it is. And if you know, you know, if you are watching this, maybe you have the same issues I do. I don't know, but that's what I was going through at the time I decided to like store these things. Those were my thoughts. So let me know if you feel like that too, because maybe we have the same issues. So these containers here, they were in decent shape. I think that I'll be able to reuse those, but I had a lot of like craft items on there and some of them were weird, like a Barbie latch hook. Does anybody remember doing the latch hook kits? You take the little tool and you put the piece of yarn through it, and then you do it in the pattern and create this thing, which when I was a kid, I made one and it was all right, but that's not something my kids are interested in. And it was Barbie themed, so it's not like generic, like a pig or something. That's actually what I did when I was a kid, was a pig. It was just weird stuff like that. And stuff that I want to sew and projects that I started and never finished. And it all just got thrown out here. And man, do I feel like such a failure when I find all this stuff and some of it's ruined. And I'm like, this sucks because I really liked this or I wanted to do it or whatever. But I was really trying to just make good decisions instead of making crappy hoarder decisions. And then a lot of this stuff too was like my husband's stuff. So it's like tools and screws and I don't know, weird car parts that to cars that we don't even have anymore. And I wanted to be able to make those decisions, but I don't know what's what. So I basically just kind of piled that stuff up and got it organized and then told him he's going to have to deal with it because I have no idea what half the crap even is. This is way harder than I thought it was going to be. I don't know why I thought it would be easy. I thought most of it would just be junk and I wouldn't care about it, but I do. So I'm almost out of time. I've got like 3 minutes left. I'm going to get this mess cleaned up, get the recycling thrown in the bin, and I'll have to come back and do another round some other time. All right, it's the next day. I'm back to do more. I grabbed a broom and a bunch of boxes to help me organize, and I'll just go for as long as I can. I'm already getting eaten up by bugs. Every little bit counts, right? If you're struggling to do a project like this, like a shed, I literally have no advice for you. It sucked. I think that the best thing you can do is just one thing at a time and just move at a slower pace and do what you can. That's the only advice that there is to give, because no amount of like, you can do it and just just go forward, and here's all these tactics for decluttering. Like, this type of project sucks. And there's a reason why you hoarded these things, or even if you don't consider it hoarding, there's a reason why these things ended up in the place where they are. Now you have to make those decisions. That's kind of how life is. You do the best you can with the knowledge that you have. So you made the best decision for yourself at that point in time. But looking back, maybe it wasn't a great decision, or maybe things have changed and now that decision is irrelevant, whatever. But now you have to make those decisions when you get to a point of decluttering, and you just got to take it slow. You have to allow yourself the time to do it as long as you're making progress. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to get it all done. You can make as many passes through as you need to. I'm working on my back room. You've probably seen little clips here and there of that, of like emptying boxes and trying to get through some of the stuff. I have gone through the back room, I think 3 or 4 or maybe 5 times, where I've basically gone around the entire room, looked in every single box, and decluttered and did it again and decluttered. And every time I get a little bit more out. But if you have the mentality, or somebody telling you, well, only touch it once and make those decisions, and you need to not leave stuff stored, you need to decide right now, man, that's hard. So don't do that if that doesn't work for you. If it does, that's great. Like, all the power to you. Maybe you're a great decider. Maybe you have like no attachments to physical things, and that makes it a lot easier, and that's awesome. But if you're like me, you can't make those decisions. So I feel like every time I go through a space, I see the item, I make my initial decision. I try to keep it quick. I try to get that gut reaction like, oh, I love that thing, or no, that thing can go. If it's a maybe, I keep it because I'm not sure how I feel about it. And then a lot of times with those maybes, when I go through on the next round or even the third round or whatever, a lot of times they end up being a no, but I don't want to decide wrong and then think about that thing the rest of my life. What I tell my kids too, just like have that quick reaction, that if you pull it out of a box and you get that gut reaction of, oh, I love this thing, you keep that thing. But if you get that gut reaction of, oh, and you get bad memories, bad feelings, bad vibes, whatever, get rid of it. If it's going to take you more than a minute to decide something, put it in a maybe pile and come back to it in the future. And that's how I've been trying to approach all of my decluttering. And it does really help. It's not like some perfect system, but it does really help because you can clear a lot of things quickly, because there are going to be things where you're like, oh, I don't want that thing, or, oh, I clearly it's broken, or I don't even know whose this is, which I've come across a few times. And you can start to dwindle things down like that, especially with a huge project like this. Like, you need to make quick decisions, or you're going to be out here in the buggy air clearing out a shed for weeks. I'm trying to get back to this section here because there's like more stuff and not so much like tools and garbage. But it's all pretty gross. There's a mouse in that box. I don't like mice. I can't go near it, and clearly I have to be finished working and burn this whole thing down, so I don't really know what to do. I've got a mess out there that I've got to clean up, and I don't want to be standing in here anymore. It's in a box. It's probably not going to climb out, and if it does, I have to run. Ugh. It looked right at me. I knew this would happen. I know it's a reality because this is an outside shed. I don't want to do it. I'm going to check and see if it's going to rain tonight. Maybe I'll just leave and I'll come back tomorrow. I got to walk away. This is gross. All right, I'm back at the shed. It's been 2 days. I had my husband check the box, and apparently the mouse ran off, so I'm going to work with this. I grabbed gloves today. I put on real shoes today, which just is agony for me. It is gonna rain. It's already starting to rain, so I'm not gonna be able to organize the things out into the grass, and I only have about an hour, so I'm just gonna do what I can, little by little. Every space counts, so we'll see how far we get. Probably not far. There's a lot of stuff to go through. I did not realize that this tiny little shed was jam-packed with so much crap.
Not a sound sneaking out through your window into the night where we were meant to be, skipping town, searching for nowhere land. Ready or not, this might be our last chance. Could make it count. This is what we waited for. No looking back. We started something I can never let go. I'm keeping you close to me. We don't need no sleep, and I know we will be alright. If only for tonight. If only for tonight. Under the sky, we're catching lightning in a bottle. Windows down, feel the summer breeze. Maybe tonight we could make it count. This is what we've waited for. Maybe tonight we could make it out. We got nothing else to prove.
There's the mouse. Oh shit. So see, the problem I have is that I can't just move to a different area because this is so cluttered in here that there's nowhere else to go. And if I get close enough to dump the box, it might touch me, and then I'm burning the shed down. If I do see it run out of the box, then I'm going to know it's in here somewhere, which I do know. I'm not stupid. Can't handle that. So I don't like when things scurry. Like if you showed me a mouse in a cage, I can look at it. I'm not scared. I don't like when they move. I guess I'm done for today again. It's been about 30 minutes. I got through a couple boxes, and hopefully it's gone when I come back next time. This was a few days later. My son offered to help, and I think my husband was sleeping. He works third shift, so I brought the baby too. And we just were like going for progress here, not perfection. It was like me handing them both stuff and then them putting it in piles, which makes a lot of big progress quick. I was trying to clear the space. It was a nice clear day. It wasn't supposed to rain. And my husband didn't work that night, so I knew that I'd be able to stay longer and he could just come get the kids and feed them dinner and whatever. So this was the day to do it. My son was a really big help. We were both on mouse, watch, trying to make sure nothing scurries at us. Man, it was just this, I think that every time I venture into a project, however long I think it's going to take, I need to triple it because I don't judge the time well enough, I suppose. And I always think that I can get things done a lot faster than I can. And I think that it would work a lot better for my mental state if I was like, hey, I could probably do this in a day and then plan 3 days and then get it done in 2 days. And then, I beat the GPS, and that's always cool. But This project's just ridiculous. But I'm going to throw some music on and we can jam out for a little bit and watch this. And then we'll pop back in and see how it's going.
Like a merry-go-round, my head is spinning. I see you rapping about, I'm sure as hell not. 'Cause in my mind we're smiling on the dance floor, late nights getting dipping like we're on our own ride. Got the words now, 'cause we're so young. We're in your car singing crazy to the radio. I remember it like time's been frozen still. Oh, had no words, no, we were so young. Now you're long gone, and I know time flies by so fast. Still I'm thinking of you. Do you remember still how we used to run? Fields were roaring. You said maybe it's love. It sure as hell was. 'Cause in my mind we're smiling on the dance floor, late nights getting dipping like we're on our own ride. Got the words now, 'cause we're so young. We're in your car singing crazy to the radio. I remember it like time's been frozen still. Oh, had no words, no, we were so young.
Pretty far. I'm really happy with this. My son was a huge help. Got the corner cleared out. That's all swept. I'm going to take these boys home and then I'll come back and we've got to sort stuff. Well, I'll be here sorting. This stuff needs to get sorted. This stuff needs to get repackaged for donations. This stuff needs to get packaged nicely to keep. And that's just all like recycling. So it's not too bad, I think. There's my boys. My big helper. Oh, wait. Bend down a little. He's taller than me now. He wasn't last week. He is this week. Come here, you. You got a big bug bite on your head.
I've been around, you've stayed away. Oh, I won't let it show. You got a hold on me. I remember the sound of us being loud, so loud, so loud. Just wonder where you're walking and talking, thinking, are you the same? Wonder how you're doing and moving through the crowds every day. And all I wanna know, are you thinking about me? I just gotta know. I just gotta know. So dumb, I wish I could get you out of my head. So numb, doing all I can to move, but I can't. Oh no, I gotta let you go. So dumb.
Well, that was thrilling. So this is a big pile of trash. I just got to put it in the trash can. Those were some clothes I pulled out because they might fit my little daughter now. They were my older daughters when she was small. This is all the stuff that's bagged up and ready to go, minus the clothes. I'm probably going to take them home and wash them and then just rebag them. This stuff I still have to sort. Those two things, I don't know what I'm going to do with. They're brand new, but the boxes are obviously crap, so I don't know. And like that and that, I should probably wipe down because that's pretty disgusting. Those are just empty boxes, so not too bad on this pile. I'm gonna take a break and then decide what to do next. I've got to finish it all today because I can't leave it out. So that sucks. But I'm gonna take a break.
Nobody told me to settle down. Day nights and late nights don't get around. But there's something about you I like. About you I like. You're crazy for saying I should slow down, but maybe I'm escaping the love we found. There's something about you I like, about you I like. I get too drunk and too scared and lie to you. If only you knew I would die for you. One of us gotta say the obvious. Nobody loves me better. Nobody loves me better.
No way. It was like chock full.
Nobody loves me